signs readings. So that's going to be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Aquarius. I have to take all the items out. So we will be starting with the sign of Gemini. How are you today, Gemini? Are you well? Feeling good? Feeling enthused? Feeling tired? Just allow your mind to empty and relax. Check throughout your body. Is there anything that you feel there that's no longer serving you? Are there areas that are clogged with tension and stress? Do you feel enthusiastic about what you're doing right now? If you do have an intention for the reading, I invite you to set that intention or goal at this time. I'm almost done shuffling the cards. This handful feels like a good handful. And then one card right from the middle, whatever it might be. All right, so this first card, let me put down the timestamp. This first card is the letter. The letter being some kind of news coming in, probably in written form, could be in physical form. The letter could be a job offer, could be the deed to property as well, or your car registration if you're still waiting on that. I know how that is. I've burned my share of road opener candles at the DMV before. All right. Excuse me. So we've got some pages coming out reversed with the masterless knight. So here we have knight energy. The knight also holding a key. And with all these weapons behind them. So the masterless knight might even have their own sovereignty and their own right. Like a rogue. Someone who's a mercenary, works only for themselves. The two pages we have coming out are the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. So those could be attendants to that masterless night. Both of those are coming out reversed. So the cups would be an offer. The wands could be I'm seeing it specifically as a lack of attraction on the other person's part right now. I don't always read the Page of Wands that way. Yeah, whether this is a work situation or a love relationship, basically there's a situation that somebody is not very excited about, and that's why they're not extending an offer. And it could have to do with their own ability to maintain autonomy. That can apply to a lot of different situations, not just love relationships. But we see it a lot there. Cute fuzzy death coming out reversed with this bizarre devil who is almost camouflaged or costumed as the number 14. Because typically 14 in the major arcana. Oh, hi Maria. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming this evening. 14 would be temperance and patience. And in fact, we have someone here. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Sorry about that. I should have closed the window. We have someone who has their... Oh yeah, definitely chill time. Almost like they have their libido out of control. A lack of that patience. And that can represent a lot of different things. Like there are many of these serpents coming out of there, right? It can also be somebody who doesn't maintain appropriate boundaries with others in many different areas: business, workplace, relationships, all of those things. And they dress it up all cute, but they're not going to change that behavior. We've got Queen of Strays and the Wheel of Fortune. So luck will be coming into you, Gemini, through your charm and your ability to sway others to your way of thinking and feeling. There's going to be a new beginning with the Fool. This is also air elemental energy. And that'll come in this 10 with the change in fortune is going to mark a completion. And then we'll move into the beginning of the next cycle. And again, this is probably coming through with this Queen of Strays, an energy of cleaving people to you, bringing people around you, surrounding yourself with a support system. So there can have been a situation where people in financial positions of power possibly caused you to feel like your value was reduced. King of Coins, King of Pentacles can be earth sign energy, but can just represent institutions of power, places of employment, things like that. And we have the Five of Mirrors and the Five of Wands coming out when there's a lot of rivalry and competing for the same positions. We can lose sight of our own value. And a lot of the time this is happening because we have to work within these systems of capitalism. And they're designed to alienate us from each other and make us see each other as like dollar sign amounts. And that is what is important. Excuse me. I am so sorry. So the Page of Wands, whereas in this previous situation, an offer was not made because the person wasn't passionate about it. They wanted to maintain their own autonomy and their own control and power over their lives. The Knight, too, is also a position that is not as powerful as the King. The King can maintain his sovereignty under a wide variety of conditions. The Knight could be conscripted at any time. So the Knight must fight harder and sometimes alone to maintain the same autonomy that the King would have. So that cycle is going to be closing and a new one beginning. We're going to have that coming around in this situation where the perceptions of your value, you're going to be making those clear, and it's going to attract somebody to you. So the Lone and Level Sands. Oh, hi, Kayla's lovely. Thank you so much for coming. It's wonderful to see you today. Hello. This card showing up in the reverse. Institutions toppling. Things that seemed indelible and immune to time being crumbled like grains of sand. There's an emotional renewal, but this is going to occur outside of the framework of your interpersonal relationships. Two of Cups is often romance, but doesn't have to be. It can be a close friendship, any intimate emotional relationships. And again, we have the idea that time is flexible and a construct. So while sometimes time is very real, time can also be very fake. And these two cards coming out are reminding us that many things which seem permanent and eternal, sometimes that's just an illusion created to perpetuate it. So, furthermore, we have coming back around again from this situation with the Page of Wands, the Moon in the reverse, and the Devil in the reverse. Tying back into this other situation where we had Death reversed along with the Devil. This might be some kind of recurring cycle for you where there's like chaos and it's occurring in the framework of these baser energies coming out. These baser energies. Let's see. Here we go. These ones. Whether it's yourself, Gemini, because the cards are reversed, I think it's others. There might be environmental contributors, and especially if we're talking about this situation. But this time we had the moon in the reverse, whereas before we had death in the reverse. So I think things will become very clear in regards to how to get out of this cycle now, because the next card we have coming out is the Two of Wands, which is all about planning. We have the High Priestess in the reverse. You don't have to know everything. We have the Strength card in the reverse. You don't have to be particularly strong. And we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. And you don't necessarily need to trust your intuition or rely on the loyalty of others. There will be other ways for you to get out of this particular situation. And it is coming to be time to act. I think this is something that you had tried to get the help of this masterless knight before. But you will be able to do this on your own, Gemini. Thank you so much for coming today. Today I'm doing air elemental scrying over on the member side of the channel, and I will be using cassia bark for the smoke. You are cordially invited. I also do member readings over there. But of course, your presence here on the channel, whether you're just watching, you like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell for notifications, talk to me in live chat and in the comments. All of those things are so greatly appreciated. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to move on to the sign of Libra. And Libra, if you have brought with you an intention for the reading this evening, allow that idea, that concept to rise up to the forefront of your mind, and just wait there patiently while I shuffle the cards. Is this particular intention something that's stressful to you? Is it something that has caused complications in your life? Are you just curious about the future? Are you curious about the past? Past, present, and future all, of course, greatly influence each other. Look at the events related to your intention, whatever it may be, on a timeline. How far back does this go in your life? How far forward would you like for it to continue? Do you see yourself traveling on that continuum? And I will be ready to start your reading very soon. these ones. And a couple from here. Yeah, great. And the top 3. Yeah, the top 3. Okay. 10 of Swords is coming out on the very top of the deck at the end of the deal. So you are being dragged, kicking and screaming, Libra, into future events. Okay. So you might be having feelings right now that you are in the bizarro universe. Let me put down my timestamp before I forget. Okay. You might feel like you are trapped in a bizarro universe right now. This is the Dark Sun card. Perhaps something like an eclipse, because quite a few of these cards are coming out in the reverse. Now, excuse me, we have a 10 of Pentacles in the midst. So there is some kind of financial closure and ending to a cycle there. You could get paid out for a big job. You could establish legacy wealth. You could get an inheritance. All of those things are possible. We have quite a few people kind of around this card. And everybody's coming out reversed. We've got Keeper of Swords. So this could be you in the situation even, Libra. Keeper of Swords, trying to maintain upright morality. We have the Builder. This is very similar to the Magician's energy. And where it's coming out reversed, much like the Keeper of Swords, these are people who maybe are trying very hard, maybe not trying their best, maybe not following the right motivations. We have the Bogeyman in reverse. There could be shifting of paradigms too in regards to the things that you fear. The Bogeyman could also be a person that you know. Because like I said, there's a bunch of people here. They're all coming out reversed. We have Death. But this particular Death card looks much more like one of the figural cards. So we're talking about the person of Death riding this black horse. And of course, having summoned those beneath the hooves of his horse home. And finally, we have the Hermit coming out reversed. And the Hermit being a very solitary energy. It's a very motley cast of characters here. Hold on just a moment. My mouth is a little bit dry. We've got the Loner. We've got the Lunatic. We've got the Creep. We've got the Builder, but coming out reversed. Maybe everything he builds falls apart. And then we have the Keeper of Swords. So this could be you and a group of friends or coworkers. It could represent different members of your family. I very much get the sense that all of these are people who are around you and possibly part of a peer group of some kind. So this could very well be an inheritance that kind of turned everybody's world upside down. but it would be some kind of financial closure. So maybe there was a family business that got sold. Maybe there was a big lottery win. There's all kinds of potential there. It's not going to be the lightning in the bottle that you thought it would be, but it is going to give you the opportunity to save, and it is going to establish comfort in your life. And this comforter card can also represent a domesticated lifestyle. So if that is something you are seeking out actively, it is something that you will receive. We have a death card coming out reversed. So when the death card comes out reversed, it means the opposite of change. It can mean stagnancy at the worst. But it can also mean that if your life has been full of turmoil up until this point, that moving forward, you would not have turmoil. Things would not be chaotic. There is a certain chaotic element to the energy of the death card in that it is focused around transformation. But where we have that death card coming out reversed, all of these people are going to be entering their exalted energy, is how I see that. Because the next cards that come out, we have the 10 of Cups. So emotional fulfillment and the end of an emotional cycle for the better. We also have the 8 of Pentacles. So lifelong work, whether it is something that pays off financially or whether it is something that just brings meaning and purpose to your life. It can also be multiple streams of income. It's a fairly stable energy. It's like a journeyman energy. All right, guys. So we have 4 of Wands and 8 of Cups coming out reversed. There could be property that is located elsewhere. And so in order to take ownership of that property, you would have to move to that place. And it looks like you are deciding not to do that. That is going to create a period of stagnancy. So from the time we have this death card reversed and everybody enters their exalted energy in that group, then it will start to stagnate for a bit. But we have a lot of new beginnings coming through after that. So that's going to be, we've got death card energy here. We've got the 1 of accordions and we have the fountain. So passion and emotion, a renewal here for you. And also this change then finally coming through. There's competition for resources going on in this particular situation. That's the 5 of Wands and 6 of Pentacles reversed. And even though there's a lot of underhanded dealing, there's not a lot of overt argument and heartache in this particular situation. People seem pretty emotionally detached from particulars of it. But I mean, there must be emotional aspects to the situation because this is coming out, the fountain. The fountain could be detachment, though, too. That would be an emotional development, that you're able to love and support and not get wrapped up in the drama of it all. So, oh, hi, Em. How are you? I hope that you're having a good night. I am. Thank you. We have the deconsecration card here. There's going to be a dismantling involved in this too. It really looks like an inheritance or a company being sold off in parts. Could have to do with shareholders in a company as well, but there's property tied up in this. There's a lot of different things. So, one thing we're going to have is deconsecration, or another word for this would be decommissioning. When you decommission things, you have to dismantle parts of them and clean them up for civilian use, right? So, deconsecration would very much be a religious form of that. So if this is an inheritance, that's going to be breaking generational curses and things like that. We do have the Nine of Sweeties, which is a wish fulfillment card. But it's also kind of like be careful what you wish for because you might end up with a tummy ache. 9 pieces of candy is a lot to eat all in one sitting for some people. The Page of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles have been ending up right next to each other reversed like this in a few readings. And I think I've kind of put them separate places in the deck, but this time I'll make sure to separate them. So the Page of Pentacles, an offer, and then the Three of Pentacles, one's perceived reputation in that field. So these two cards together is somebody not making a job offer because they don't think that your job experience is enough. Somebody could be perceiving you as not capable of handling things, and especially we have the lightning in the bottle card coming out reversed in your reading. Also, Libra. Which is power. Lightning in a bottle is power. We have the happy squirrel coming out in the reverse too. And I consider this card to be like this small woodland creature is endowed with the almighty power of source to do whatever they see fit. So, of course, they're going to end up burning down the forest, right? So, when that card comes out reversed, people don't think that you're capable of handling great power or responsibility. We do have the High Priestess coming out with that as well. So secrets, you've got a few tricks up your sleeve, to say the least. It could be that you're very aware of this situation and you know all the angles. All right. Somebody showing up as the Queen of Wands. This could be you, but it could be an acquaintance. Somebody who's very charming, possibly a fire sign. And there seems to be a link between them and the High Priestess energy. But I'm getting that these two are kind of like friends. They could be part of your peer group. Libra, going back to the very beginning of the reading where we had all these people around you, these could even be the same people in showing up in their exalted energies. So the High Priestess and the Queen of Wands being part of that particular group of people. We have kind of a death before dishonor energy here that is being dismissed. That victory and stoicism isn't necessarily required in all these situations. Change is inevitable. We have another death card coming out. And we have the Pouncer card coming out reversed. All of these people who used to kind of pull practical jokes on each other and be really hard on each other before Libra, all those people are going to be kind of calming down and not joking with each other so much. And that is going to there's going to be a separation from more of the animalistic nature and losing that hunter's edge specifically. But this will also mean that this destructive moment with the Tower card here, that will be averted. All right, so that is going to conclude the Libra reading for this week. Thank you so much for joining me for the Libra reading. I'm going to move on now to the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius. And Aquarius, if you would like, before we really get into anything related to your reading, I invite you to do just like a quick body scan. Start at the bottoms of your toes, work your way up through your ankles and legs, your hips, the trunk of your body, out into, through your arms, up through the shoulders, through the crown of the head. Connect to the energy of source if you choose to do that at this time. And go through and anywhere that you are feeling tension, discomfort, emptiness, delight, even good feelings too. Acknowledge the good feelings. Acknowledge and release the tension, the anxiety, the discomfort, anything that you're ready to let go of. And now, Aquarius, if you would like, at this time, to set your intention. I'm hearing something, Aquarius, about teaching your religion to others as well. I'm not sure exactly what that is about, and it could be different for all of you. And we did have a couple of jumpers with that. So, all right. Oh, this one wants to come too, I guess. All right. So, I think I'm supposed to read it. Jumpers first. The timestamp, put all right, and the jumpers we have here is the Lovers in Reverse and the Publishing Goblin. I wonder if the Publishing Goblin's a fun guy to work for. He seems pretty cool. He's the one who helped make the deck, right? I mean, he's the one who made the deck, but technically, like, the Alley Man made the deck, so, like, we gotta stick with the canon here. That's why I said it like that, okay? So, these two people on the Lovers card seem to be having an incredibly mutual time. This is Gemini's card. They look very similar. The Lover's card is two halves of the same soul coming back together. That has to be a choice that you want to make. You have to decide, do I even believe that that's something that exists? Or is that something that Hallmark made up to sell us candy and greeting cards? Right? Is that something they made up in order to transfer property rights along family lines? Who knows? The publishing goblin, very pragmatic character. Perhaps he has asked you to write this fatal love story, Aquarius. That the publishing goblin could represent somebody in your life who's requesting from you a particular good or service as part of a contractual arrangement. So like writing a book, producing an album, could be some other kind of work. And if this is purely a work reading for you, I would advise against taking this particular contract in its current form with the Lovers in reverse like this. So that could be a very specific message coming out to someone in particular. There's not any kind of malice or trying to get one over on you involved in the arrangement, but it just isn't going to be worth the money. They're not going to be able to pull the resources together for it. Excuse me, I was thirsty. So we have this white little Weasley dog. I'm going to call this dog Osito. And Osito's actually a very well-behaved dog. He's a good dog, okay? He's a good boy. But every dog is going to do things that are less than ideal. So sometimes Osito is the dog that you hear wailing and moaning in the background. That's this dog right there. You can think about that dog. But actually, usually Osito is quite good. Doesn't howl during the readings. So I'm going to read this card as, when it's in the reverse like this, a normally well-behaved dog going awry. And that's coupled with the Queen of Swords in reverse. So there is somebody who is trying to take advantage in this situation, somebody who's very ruthless. So it could just be that they are someone like a Cruella de Vil that would, like kill puppies to make a coat or something, right? Or maybe I should say K double hockey sticks or something. That's literally a Disney movie. And now we can't even say K double hockey sticks. We also have, so we've got the Page of Swords coming out with the Ace of Wands, and these are both upright. That Page of Swords, information coming in that's going to lead to a renewal of energy for you. Could be a new energy source even. Or a new source of livelihood as well. And this could be coming in with a Queen of Wands, so somebody who's very charming and nice. You could be leaving this Queen of Swords energy behind and end up in the company and partnership of a Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, we've had a few come out over the course of the readings today. Very charming. And this could even be your energy coming out, Aquarius. Typically, the wands are fire, but anyone can embody any of those energies. The Magician coming out reversed. So this, I'm not sure if it's something that you're trying to manifest, but in the context of this particular reading, this kind of brings me back to the publishing goblin energy, especially because Magician is Mercury, planetary energy, and we've got the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, which is ruled by Mercury. A lot of air energy here, Aquarius. And that the Magician in the reverse here could be whoever this has been approaching you about that particular offer, that they're not going to be able to manifest. That is kind of the key to what has been coming through with all of these cards. So somebody might have been really debating as to whether or not they wanted to work with a certain person. I think a much better option is going to be coming in for you, actually. And you'll know much more about them. There will be either more opportunity to do research, they'll be more forthcoming with their paperwork and things like that. Not everything has to be orchestrated in a dark alley. So the gloaming is kind of like an extra part to the moon card. It refers to the time of day when all the light goes away from the surface of the earth in a particular area at night. So where we have that reversed, we're clearing everything up. We're not going to be dealing in a back alley. We're going to be taking it out onto the main street, doing things legitimately. And that is going to clear out any delays that you've been seeing or any stagnancy in the situation, and open up this infinite power source. So I think here where we have this Eight of Wands, or the Ace of Wands, sorry, we also have this infinite power source coming out. All right, so Knight of Swords showing up reversed. This is not doing any more clearing out, and perhaps allowing people to stay around you who are not looking out for your best interest. The Knight of Swords is a very binary character. Somebody who feels like there is a well-defined right and wrong. So where this card is coming out reversed, there can also be elements of like going morally astray or seeing sides of things that are not necessarily there. Knight of Swords in the reverse could also be like conspiracy theory, and people who have internet brainworms. The thing among reflections. So for you, Aquarius, no longer being scared of your own shadow, no longer perceiving things that aren't there. an end to cold, an end to winter with the frost card here. This could be occurring also in the spring of next year when we come out of the winter that we are now entering. And that could be a time frame card. We have Misero coming out with this skeleton who's chilling at a bar. And you can kind of see these two figures as some people may be down and out on their luck, hanging out. This character looks like they're having a good time, but if you're spending a lot of your time in a bar, are you really having a good time? Or are you there because it's become a habit? Leaving behind these poor attitudes regarding one's existence for good. And perhaps leaving behind some of those habits as well. Like, you might be a very positive person, but you might have habits that were formed out of feelings of lack, feelings of scarcity, or feeling like, oh, poor me, bad things always happen to me, or bad things will happen to me under these certain circumstances. So a lot of leaving things like this behind, only that this Knight of Swords in the reverse, I would just look out for that particular type of energy, because I think some of these things are kind of lingering in your life. They're not fully resolved. And that is keeping you from this sovereignty. So in order to bring in this new beginning and to attract this Queen of Wands person, I think there's a need to let go of some of these things, and you might be hesitant to do that at this time, Aquarius. And that is not going to set a good foundation for your future. Specifically relating to this card, I am getting somebody fears ending up an old maid or a spinster or something, which is silly, but that's what's coming through with the card, that if you want to establish something with other people, because if you look here, these two are very close, right? There are certain things that are not getting established at this time because of that. But there are a lot of options open to you. And we have the Seven of Cups coming through with everybody's favorite friend, Giuseppe. Giuseppe invites you to draw 3 cards from anywhere. If they do not bring you happiness, put them back where you found them and draw 3 more. You may repeat this as many times as you like. If any other players are looking or feeling left out, share some with them. So we'll bookmark right here, and we can draw 3 cards from the deck. Pull this one, pull this one, and one more. Thank you, Giuseppe. Let's see if they bring us joy. Well, so we're leaving behind old things. These might be also things about which you are nostalgic. You might be leaving the past in the past and letting those things go because you're evaluating right now certain traditions. The Seven of Pentacles is all about an evaluation process. Is it worth it? And we have the tradition here, which is a little bit like the Hierophant card. So we're evaluating the values that have come through our ancestral lines and through our communities. And we're letting go of the obsolete technologies. Thank you, Giuseppe. All right, so back to the main stack of cards. We have things in work and play, idealized. Eight of Pentacles is a very established energy within a workplace or a practice of some kind. And then this Nine of Bowling Pins would be your leisure activities and getting very good at whatever it is that you do as a hobby on the side. I think you have a good balance between work and home life, work and leisure time. We have the Queen of Cups showing up reversed. And this particular Queen of Cups card, she has these little fish around her. There's not really imagery of the cups themselves, right? So this would be more of an energy of somebody who's very moody and sullen. The Queen of Cups in reverse, I almost even get the energy of somebody who might be depressed at this time. I don't know if that's you, but it could be somebody that you're involved with. We do have the 10 of Wands coming out. So somebody could be dealing with depression as a burden at this time, Aquarius. And that is going to have the effect of isolation, but also self-reflection. And the final cards that we have for your reading, we have the Storyteller and we have the King of Cups reversed. Sometimes the King of Cups reversed is someone using emotions or emotional tactics to manipulate people around them. So with the Hermit coming out, you would be self-isolating maybe to remove yourself from people like that. And we also have the Storyteller in the reverse, that somebody might be fabricating things about themselves. The Storyteller would be somebody who maybe tells lies, but more so than that, this would be somebody who's kind of creating a fiction around themselves to wrap other people in. And I think this is specifically this particular Queen of Cups person. That's going to become a burden to you and have the effect of being isolating. So you're being warned against that in particular. All right, Aquarius. So that is going to conclude your reading for this week and will conclude the air sign readings. I'm going to go now over to the member side of the channel to do some smoke scrying and do some readings for the channel members. So until I see you next time, I hope you are well.